Hi, it's Jane with Scraptastic Yarns, and today is Tuesday, and let's hope I can get through this one. I've already had to start over. Why? Because I didn't have my mic on. And speaking of mic, the little wind protector on the mic is missing. Let's hope we don't have a lot of extra noise and that you can't hear me breathing. You know, I'm a mouth breather, so good luck, folks. Okay. I have a finished item, and this is Miss Darcy, and she is wearing a outfit by Pamela's Adoring Crochet. Now, I'm going to tell you about that, but first I'm going to tell you Pamela writes some of the easiest patterns to read. They're very well done. I had no issues with this, and I will tell you about my gal in just a moment in her outfit. But this is the pattern that she has out, and it is the 18-inch doll. It is Shirley Springtime Set. Very easy. And I will show you that once again, this is my Darcy. Darcy is wearing her lovely little cap with that beautiful rose flower on it. And she has a poncho. Now I'm going to flip up the poncho. And when I do not gasp out loud. Miss Darcy comes from a not-so-good neighborhood. Her sisters, Marianne and Susie, are under glass or a plastic dome because one is a real 18-inch doll. The other is a My Friend and Me 18-inch doll. But Darcy comes from, I believe it was Joann's 18-inch dolls. And their dolls all have little issues. And I'm going to show you it. First off, let's take off her little poncho because you got to see the issues, right, to find out what the problem is. And why Darcy doesn't like to show off her arms. And, you know, some of us who have bat wings don't care for that either. But there's the little poncho. Darcy comes from a neighborhood where she had to do a lot of work. So she has linebacker arms. And they're cloth. Now my other 18-inch dolls have plastic arms all the way down. But Darcy, like I said, comes from a lower income neighborhood. So they substituted her plastic arms with some beautiful cloth. And she has little linebacker arms. The shirt is separate from the skirt. Now, on this skirt, I had to change things up a little bit. And here's why. I had two skeins. One was Red Heart with Love in white that had that beautiful little bling in it. And then I also had what was called, I believe it was silver, in the red heart with the bling. But this pink with the bling, it was an orphan cake that I received. No ball band. I have no idea what it was. And I didn't have quite enough to finish the ruffle. So on this ruffle, normally you would do another double crochet. What I did is I changed them up to half double crochets, I believe. No, single crochets. Yep, single crochets to get that ruffle, so I had enough to go around. And I didn't have quite enough to go all the way around, so some of the ones in the back don't have their full ruffle in them. But she even comes with boots, and the boots are very well made. So it is a lovely pattern, and thank you, Pamela, for allowing me to test that, because as we all know, my Crochet was missing. And this got me into crocheting again. So thank you, Pamela. It was a great pattern. As always, they're easy to read. Love them. All right. What else have I been working on? I did get the blankets, the luck of the draw, updated. I believe I showed you those in another video. But what I have been working on is my everyday cardigan. Now I have the sleeves attached. And what I have to finish is around the bottom edging. And then I need to do the edging that goes around the neck. I don't know that I am going to have enough yarn to finish it. So I may have to make a trip. Because if I order it online, it'll take forever to get here. And I'm impatient. That is a flaw I have. I am impatient. So, that is it. That is all for the finished items, the crochet items, and that's basically it. What have I been working on? Been working on bags and also making masks that are t-shirts, out of t-shirts. So that's what I've been working on, because I've had a couple of people that needed new masks. And of course I also have to repair a mask for myself and for someone else. So that's all I've been up to right now. Of course, you know, chemo weeks are busy weeks for us. Last week was chemo week. So, you know, I kind of get a little exhausted during that week. Next week is chemo week. And also on top of that, we have at our church, we have prayer shawl on the Wednesday afternoon. And after prayer shawl, I came up with an idea for drive-by prayers. So we're going to attempt to do drive-by prayers behind the church. So if any of you are in the location of Mill Hall, the Bald Eagle, the United Presbyterian Church, you want a prayer Wednesday afternoon between 1 and 2, come on by. We'll be open. So we're just going to pray with folks in the community that want to. We do ask that if you do come through that you have a mask on. We will have hand sanitizer and everything else. And it should be interesting, because I think our communities are in need of social contact and prayers. So, all right. Ready for a little what incarnation? Of course you are. I know I am. Beavers chew through cable, knock out internet service to 900 customers. These little critters. And we are always joking in our neighborhood because of the squirrels, that when the internet goes out or the cable goes out, they always blame it on the squirrel, or even the lights. They always blame it on squirrels, you know. So, no, it's not always squirrels. This time, it was a beaver. A Canadian telecommunications company said about 900 customers in a British Columbia town lost internet service when beavers chewed through a fiber cable. TELUS said customers in Tumbler Ridge lost service about 4 a.m. Saturday, and repair crews discovered beavers had chewed through an important fiber cable at multiple points. Liz Sav, a spokeswoman for TELUS, said in an email to CBC News that it was a very bizarre and uniquely Canadian turn of events. Our team located a nearby dam, and it appears the beavers dug underground alongside the creek to reach our cable, which is buried about 3 feet underground and protected by a 4.5-inch thick conduit. The beavers first chewed through the conduit before chewing through the cable in multiple locations, Suave wrote. Repair crews captured photos showing pieces of TELUS equipment being used by the Beavers to build their dams. And yes, there's video. The company said internet service to Tumbler Ridge was restored fully by Sunday afternoon. Kind of reminds me of about, I think a week ago. Sharks were to the blame for some of the internet telecommunication issues because they had bit through a cable that was laid in the sea. Those darn sharks. So, blame it on the beaver. What you can do. Now, my husband and I have a friend whose son-in-law is named Josh. So I found this story rather interesting. Hundreds of people named Josh battle with pool noodles in Nebraska. Hundreds of people with the first name Josh gathered in Nebraska with pool noodles for a battle royale that began as a joke on social media. Josh Swain, 22, an Arizona college student, said he was bored during the pandemic in April 2020, as we all were. So as a joke, he sent a message to a few people who shared his name and challenged them to duel him in 1 year's time in a Nebraska park. Swain said the joke soon turned into a real plan, and Saturday, hundreds of Joshes gathered with pool noodles in Lincoln's Air Park to battle it out. The event began with Swain and another Josh Swain, who hails from Omaha, playing rock, paper, scissors for their rights to their name. The Arizona student won the initial contest, and the event then turned to the pool noodle melee. A 4-year-old boy named Joshua Vincent Jr. was declared the winner of the pool noodle battle and was presented with a Burger King crown and hoisted into the air to a round of cheers from all the Joshes there. But there's oh so much more to this story. The Joshes collected 300 pounds of food for the Food Bank of Lincoln. And you know I'm tearing up for a reason. And raised more than $8,000 for the Children's Hospital and Medical Center Foundation in Omaha. Good thing, Josh. Do it again every year. Let's see how high it can get. All right. I'm sure you guys have seen this video. It was on YouTube. It's been on Instagram. It's been just about everywhere. But in case you haven't, here's the story. Dog joins Utah track meet relay race and wins. Video footage of a high school track meet in Utah is going viral after a dog ran out onto the track and was the first to cross the finish line in a relay race. The video filmed on the track at Logan High School shows Gracie Laney in the lead during the last leg of a relay race when a dog named Holly darts through the crowd of runners and passes Laney just before she crossed the finish line. Laney said she heard the crowd getting loud and assumed a human runner was approaching her from the back. I did notice that the crowd was kind of going crazy, Laney told KSL-TV. But you know, it was a big meet, and so I just thought there's a lot of people here. Laney officially came in first in the race, but Holly crossed the finish line right before her. Holly's owner said the canine caught a glimpse of a baton being passed in the race and pulled her leash from the owner's hands. The owners apologized for Holly's behavior, but Laney said there was no harm done. I honestly am just glad that we didn't get hurt, she said. It was a fun experience. Not only tears from the previous story, but allergies on top of that. Anybody want to take a trip to Chernobyl? It could be fun. Airline offers aerial tours of Chernobyl for 35th anniversary. A Ukrainian airline is commemorating the 35th anniversary of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant disaster by offering an aerial tour of the site. Who doesn't want that kind of vacation? Ukrainian International Airlines announced it is teaming with Chernobyl Tour, companies specializing in exclusion zone tourism, to offer an aerial tour of the nuclear power plant site and the abandoned city of, and I can never say this right, Pripyat, on April the 25th, the 35th anniversary of the disaster. It's already passed. Should be interesting to find out what the follow-up story is. The airline said the plane will pass over the city at an altitude of 2,950 feet, the minimum allowed, and in-flight information will be provided by guides from Chernobyl Tour. Tickets for the Embraer 195 passenger jet flight, which will begin and end at Kiev's Borisfield Airport, are on sale for $106. But first, you got to get to the Ukraine. So, for next week, I'll look for the follow-up on that story and see if anybody took it up. Now, you know, flying objects on a highway are pretty dangerous when they hit the windshield. Yeah. Turtle crashes through windshield on Florida highway and survives. A turtle crashed through the windshield of a car on a Florida highway and struck a 71-year-old woman in the head. But both the woman and the reptile are expected to be okay. The Port Orange Police Department said a woman called 911 on Wednesday to report she had been driving on Interstate 95 when an object crashed through her windshield and struck her passenger, her 71-year-old mother, in the head. A driver who stopped to help during the 911 call identified the object that came through the glass as a turtle. The 911 caller's mother was taken to Halifax Health Medical Center in Daytona Beach, where doctors determined a cut above her eye was not a serious injury. She is expected to make a full recovery. Officer Andre Fleming, a police spokesman, said firefighters discovered the turtle was alive and apparently free of serious injuries, suffering only scratch marks to its shell. Fleming said firefighters released the turtle into the nearby woods. The driver of the vehicle said she didn't see the turtle until it was in the air and falling toward her windshield. Police said the animal may have been thrown into the air by a nearby vehicle. And we've all driven behind vehicles that have thrown rocks. So, who says a turtle can't be thrown? Now, while I was reading that story, I was reminded in my mind of the Obamacare new listings. And one of those was being hit by a flying turtle. So they now have a code for billing for that. All right, guys, that's it for today's podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon. And everybody remember to choose kindness. Everybody have a blessed week. Bye.